Today is Sunday, the 28th of February, 1993. We're on the second day of our trip. Today this morning here, we're at Bandon, sitting down here on the beach, and these will be some shots of the beach in the Bay Area here at Bandon. Last night we spent at Coquille Valley Golf Course and Elks Club. And so here we are today at Bandon, and we're going to be moving on south. Try to take a picture here of some of these rocks out here at Bandon. It kind of looks down out over the Pacific Ocean here, but it's really pretty, all these rocks jutting out into the ocean. Get a little close up here. One big one here. If I can see, looks like a million seagulls out there flying around. Back off a little bit. Nice big waves coming in there. Gonna look around here now. We're at the top of Humbug Mountain, and I've got the sound on here, but the wind's blowing real hard, so I'm just gonna identify here a little bit. This is about 20 miles north of Gold Beach, Oregon, and I'm gonna pan around here a little bit, but I'm gonna turn it off so that I don't get all the wind noise. I'm looking off to the north here now, and then looking back up towards the beach. I got it on quite a ways, but I'm just gonna pan from the north to the south here. It's kind of a pretty area, and I'll just later then. Going to be looking south here now, panning a little bit farther from north. We're just coming off a Humbug Mountain, and the wind's still blowing hard, so I'm going to pan along here a little bit, but look off to the south here. It's a real nice stretch of beach. We're now down here at Gold Beach, and I'm looking out here at the mouth of the Rogue River, world famous Rogue River, where all the celebrities and everybody wants to take a mail boat trip up the Rogue River, and lots of fishing done on this Rogue River. Go inland here a little ways. This is all part of the mighty Rogue. Okay, I'm still looking at the Rogue River here, and I just moved on up here a little ways. I wanted to get a picture of the Rogue River Bridge here, and that was kind of unique. Actually missed it. There was an airplane just coming down there. I missed it, I guess. But this is looking out at Gold Beach, looking to the south here. And back out here to the mouth of the Rogue again. And you can see the water is kind of turned up a little bit today, but it's a beautiful day. Sun shining. Supposed to get to a high of 55 degrees. Yeah, we're going to move on south now. We're now at Harris Beach in southern Oregon. And I'm standing up here looking out over the cliffs here. It's a beautiful spot. All these jagged rocks sticking up. Nice beach area to be playing in. Gorgeous spot. The sun shining. It's about 65 degrees. A lot of people down on the beach playing today, climbing around on the rocks. Try to zoom in a little bit here on some of these rocks way out there and give you an idea what this area really looks like. Actually, I'm looking to the north here right now. I'll scan on down here a little ways. This is going out towards the west now, out in the Pacific Ocean. Come on around here. Oh, look out here. In fact, there I see a boat out there. See if I can bring him in here a little bit better. I don't know what they're looking for, or whether they're just whale watching, or whether they're actually fishing. Earlier up the beach there, we pulled over on the wayside and we actually saw a whale blow his air. I'll go back out here a little bit. Great big rock right here. See if I can get by him a little bit. And I'm just swinging off to the south now. All still looking out here at the beach at Harris Beach. I see another boat out here. See if I can bring him in here a little bit. Again, I don't know what he's doing out there. Whether he's just out there having a good time, or whether he's actually fishing, or whether he's actually whale watching. I'll put him back out here a little ways, and I'm going to continue on around down here to the south a little farther. See some more of these big rocks right here. People out here flying kites, lounging around down here on the beach. And back behind there, I don't think you can really make it out, but I'll see if I can bring it in. That's actually the town of Brookings, Oregon. Wait a minute, see if something zooms in here. Kind of windy, still blowing a little bit. Not quite as bad here as it was a little farther up the beach. Still a pretty day. I'm going to look back around here a little bit again, and I'll scan back up here towards the north a little bit. Nice beach area here, real lots of sand. I say I'm going back around to the north here again now, where it's really jaggy and rocky up in here. Seems to be where most of the people are, out there playing around on the rocks, jumping around. And that's back to the shoreline there kind of now. So we'll move on. We're still Sunday, we're still heading south. And destination hopefully is going to be Eureka, California before the day's out. We're now in Eureka, California, and I'm here at this memorial. It's called the Memorial to Fishermen Lost at Sea. And I'll kind of zoom in here. Looks like there's names all the way around, but I'll just kind of maybe go down this side here a little bit. And kind of looks like it gives a name and a date. And again, it's just a memory of fishermen at sea. This is part of the memorial here. It looks like there's a kind of a old, tall, handsome gentleman out here overlooking a boat here with a net in his hand, kind of dictating a fisherman at sea. See if I can get up this. It's getting kind of dark here now already. I can't see him real well. Hope he turns out better than what it appears, but it's kind of a nice, it looks like it's made out of bronze or something. It's turning kind of greenish. And I'll scan off around the back here. There's a little bit, goes back out across the water there, and looks like there's a big mill out there. And as I go around here, I'm going to go around the other side of the bay here, and that's actually the town of Eureka right there. And I'll just skirt along the waterfront here on this side. This is really called Old Town, and maybe I can come in a little closer, but these are all some old buildings over there, and kind of this whole front here must have been a big waterfront at one time. But you kind of go along here and you see through there, you'll see some. This is the yacht club down here now that I'm coming across. And in the background there, still part of Old Town. It just kind of goes all the way around the other side of the park. And I wish I could get to one house there, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. Oh my gosh, here comes the pickup again. And Karen, she's sitting in the pickup. Yeah, looking here at an old lighthouse. I don't know what significance it has. It looks like it's been moved in here from someplace. There's a lot of water around here and a big inlet, so I imagine there was a in-use lighthouse at one time and brought up here and set up here as part of a memorial. I'm going to take a picture of a boat here. It looks like he's headed out. It looks like a bottom fisherman or something headed out to sea here. Going on out. Understands the time of the year when the shrimpers are out, so when the crabbers, so must be where he's headed. Yeah, we even got a seagull up here. See if I can't get a close-up of a seagull. Doing his favorite thing, sitting on his perch and looking around. Here at Eureka. We're still here at Eureka, and I'm looking at this old house here at the end of a street. I'm going to have to shut it off a minute. I said I'm standing here at this street here in Eureka, California, and there's this neat old house at the end of the street here, and it says it's now a private club. One time it was owned by a lumberman. Evidently it was big in this area, and it's now private. Nobody can go through it, but it says it's for a private club. I don't know how much detail I'm going to be able to give you here, but maybe I can get up here a little bit closer. I'll see if I can't get up and down here a little bit. As I go down here, the wind is starting to blow a little bit, but you can see it's got a lot of gingerbread on it. And the city has gone through and fixed these streets up out here. I'll go back here. See, they kind of got cobblestones in the middle and a little walkway. This particular street happens to be probably about I suppose 10 blocks long. March the 1st. We're still heading south. Right now we're going to go to the avenue of the giant redwood trees. a little side trip here today called Immortal Tree. And estimated age of this large redwood tree is 950 years. It has been survived lightning which has removed the top, the logger's axe in 1908, forest fire, leather 1964. The original height of the redwood was 298 feet. It's now 248 feet. The diameter of the back at the base is 14.5 feet and 3 feet at the top. Total volume in board feet of the tree is 104,380 board feet, which would build several homes. The medium tree at the right height is 202 feet, diameter is 84 inches, about 14,650 board feet. Kind of a burl and redwood shop here, and out here in front is this squirrel here. Get around and see if I can get somewhat of a picture of him right here. An old redwood stump here with it all hollowed out in the middle. So about a pretty good size. I surmise that that tree is bottom to the top there. It's probably 12 to 14 feet. And in the redwood grove here, I'm going to just try to take a few pictures here. It's tall. This is March the 2nd. We're still going down Highway 1 in California. We spent the night at Manchester State Park, and we're now heading south towards San Francisco, kind of our destination for today. I just stopped here. It's called Salt Cove, but the one thing that noticed along here, just hundreds of thousands of these little coves. Not much beach area, but lots of coves. And I'll try to go around here a little bit, but you can kind of see there's a little cove there, and then right around there is another little cove, and beyond that is another little cove, and even though there's no homes right here, we're about, I suppose 50 miles north of San Francisco, maybe 75. Lots of real nice developments along these shores. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Maybe we can see this cove over there. There's the one there. It's kind of an inlet. And there's another one, then there's an inlet there. And right down here is another little inlet. And all kind of pretty here. I'm going to zoom in. I don't know whether those are sea lions out there or whether that's seaweed. Back up the coast. See a lot of real wind blowing trees and a lot of down trees right now. I understand about 2 weeks ago, in Salem we had the big snowstorm. Down here they had winds, he says, to 90 miles an hour and a lot of broken off trees. Back around to the south here a little more. I think I actually see maybe a boat out there. See if I can bring him in here a little bit. He's not going in and out. That one. I'm going to take a view here of out over the ocean. We're just still going down Highway 1 here. But what I want to show here is this. Typically, what a lot of this road looks like. I'm going to try to get down here, but you can see we're going to go up here around this corner. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to go down along this road here. Actually disappears out of sight here. Goes that way, comes around. Eventually goes around that cliff back there. Down at the bottom there's a river. Crosses that river, runs along there, but I'll go back up here. Snakes back out through, back around there, and starts back up the hillside over there. Eventually comes back up over there. Goes up over that and continues on around back up. It just follows the coastline here. It's crazy. We've been on the road here 3 hours this morning. I think we've come about 30 miles, maybe a little more than that. We make a couple stops. Today is March the 3rd. Last night we spent the night at Santa Cruz. Today we're heading south on 101. And we decided to stop here at Mission San Miguel. It's one of the oldest missions on the west coast. And we're going to, let's see if I can get in here, take a little shot of this thing. Founded in 1797. We're going to go in. It's a self-guided tour. You go through the mission here. I'm going to try to take some pictures of it.
Just this greenery stuff, the vegetation.
I'm just going to scan along here. This is kind of the front of the mission here. It's actually a pretty good sized mission. The layout here is, I understand there's still 5 priests live here. They still have daily mass here plus Sunday masses.
Oven, I don't know if it's the big bread or bricks. It's an old oven.
This looks like inside the little mission there, the little thing here is actually looks like some kind of an oven. Might have been for maybe they're making adobe or bricks, or were they bake bread. Over here's an old cart. Just kind of looking at the back side of the archway coming into the mission. You can see a lot of the old adobe and brick that was used. Another one of the ovens here that's another one of the ovens there. You can see the hole where they either, I don't know, baked bread or else made adobe block. I don't know, have to ask when I get in there. This is kind of inside here. There's a nice fountain right there. Here, there's some nice old cactus plants there. And looking down the archway here, a covered way between the church and what was probably the kitchen area and dining areas. It's like an old harrow here that was pulled like behind an oxen or behind a mule or something, that has a single foot on it. That was kind of the handle to guide it, and that side looks like it had a little hook on it for a hook behind the animal to draw it. Actually, it's the other way around, it looks like, because the foot on the harrow looks like it's down in there. So, and here was another old steel wheeled horse-drawn cart of some kind. I'm kind of scan around here. It's all kinds of cactus out here, and see if I can get some of the different kinds here. Must be a little bit early yet. I don't see them in bloom. Somebody said this is the time of the year when cactus are in bloom, but you can see there was a lot of cactus around here. Tall, any kind there. And the cactus.
Ooh, that's nice all over.
More cactus right there. Another one here. I don't know what kind this is. All kinds of little buds. Must be about ready to bud out into flowers or something. This old cannon here is evidently part of the artifacts of the mission. And it says the cannon is 100 years older than the mission itself. It was cast in Spain in 1697 and left by the Mexican army near the river here in 1846, and then it must have been brought here to the mission.
Well, or wait till you go into.
This here actually looks like the original. We're standing under the canopy here. And this is the entrance to the church. We'll go in there after a while, but the walls are about three or 4 feet thick, I think it says, into this church. So you can see kind of there that thickness of that wall there is all part of the original wall. Back down, I'm looking back down the other side now, the other direction from the church, down towards the mission where the I guess the kitchen was down in that area, and the dining room and the sleeping areas. You can see it's kind of a long corridor that goes quite a ways down there, and these benches sitting all on the outside here. And all these old, it almost look like they might have been, whether they're just church pews or whether they're just part of the original sitting, I don't know. You're gonna be in there in a minute.
It's gonna tell you what.
This crucifix here, you read into it. You got to do it.
The crucifix over the door is the crucifix of the original main altar. This is a 16th century Spanish wood carving. It depicts the patron saint.
Okay.
This is a replica of the San Miguel mission that we are now touring.
Good. We're still inside the building here, and this is a picture of the vine, the wine vat that was inside here that they actually, I guess, used to make their wine. And it's pretty good size. I can't get up to the steps. There's the steps are right over there, and they've got stuff laying on them, but I surmise that it's probably 10 feet high and 10 foot out from the wall each way, so there's a pretty good sized volume there. Here's a little chronology of the mission San Miguel, the growth, and
This was formed.
we're now outside here, and this was the garden area, and probably during the day when the mission was in use, this was probably the holding room for livestock or something. It's a big area. Just walls and stuff all the way around the outside. Now it's all grown with shrubs and just a nice pathways through there. I suppose it's used by the people that come here for retreats. This is looking down the covered area on the one side, so it's the mission is actually kind of like square. I was sitting out here in the garden area, and these are there's two doors here like this. There's actually two of the original doors that were used. It's almost like a door within a door. This part right here is actually opens, and the other part was open and it had hinges on it, so they could have a small opening or a large opening. This is the inside of an old oak tree, and as you can see right there, that actually dictates a cross, and that's how the early Padres marked the trail to the missions. And as the tree grew older, eventually it healed over and completely surrounded and covered that cross. But this is one of the markings of what they used.
Mm-hmm.
This is just kind of going into, just prior to entering the kitchen area. This is a little board yard sitting there with all kinds of old tools on it, evidently were used as part of the trade in maintaining the animals. And looking in here, kind of goes through the fort here and actually inside of here. Know if I can get any. There's some old horse. I can't even think what they're called anymore, but the yokes, I guess. And there's horse collars hanging in there, and a bunch of old harnesses and wagon wheels and mostly old harnesses that were hanging on the walls here that they must have used for the horses to pull their wagons around and stuff.
This is an old beehive oven.
In the kitchen area, right?
Not really. Just the sleeping room.
This is the sleeping room, and there's actually an old bed sitting there yet, and a pair of old shoes laying there. Looks like a very comfortable bed. Actually had a little fireplace here and a couple little chairs here. I'm still in the bedroom here, but on display here there's some looks like some original old saddles there. This is actually wool drying racks after it was washed. The wool from the sheep was washed and then put on these racks to dry. And I assume after it was dried, it went over here, and here's kind of an old spinning loom where they actually made cloth. Looks like almost probably like vestments maybe, or linens, and there's what do they call it? I guess a reel that they spun the yarn on before they made it off. Here's an old hand or spinning loom. Try to take a picture. This is the inside of the church. I'm looking up towards the balcony. The stairway went up there. Actually at the back of the church here, I'm looking up the front. You can see how big this church really is. It says it's 144 feet long. And just gonna go around the top here. I'll show you some of these beams. Long, narrow church. I think it said it was 27 feet wide, 144 feet long. And the reason that was is because that's as long as they could get a piece of wood. The church is still actively used. They have mass every day, plus 5 Sunday masses for the surrounding communities. I'll try to walk up here towards the altar now a little bit. I'm standing here now about in the middle of the church, and there's actually the pulpit there. He walks up the steps there, and that's where the padre goes up to give his homily or sermon. The statues and all the decorations in here are all part of the original church dating back to 1700s. They look like kind of like a starburst or sunburst or something up above the altar. It's not there's an original statue. Got these hand-carved Stations of the Cross. And I got a lot of these pictures hanging along the wall here, depicting different scenes of Christ's days. Another Station of the Cross. Now standing up in the altar area and kind of shooting towards the back of the church. See, it was a long, narrow church. And again, says that the walls are about 4 feet thick with adobe block, and Indians spent 3 years making adobe blocks before the mission padres came along and finally supervised the construction of the church. Okay, say something about the bell here, Mommy.
Okay, this bell is 2,000 pounds, and it was cast in San Francisco in 1888 from fragments of older bells.
This is the bell tower that's hooked to the church. And on the outside here we got, looking at, right beside the church here was a cemetery. And supposedly there's about 2,000 Indians buried somewhere around close by the church. And inside the grounds here is where all the different padres that have served here that passed away were buried. And you see all kinds of headstones in here. But I can't see any names here right now, but I noticed back there was a Reverend Munt and a Reverend McDonald and quite a few headstones in here. Okay, go.
This bronze statue of Christ was originally inside the church. Now they have brought it out here into the cemetery.
Today is Friday the 5th. We're somewhere between Los Angeles and Ventura, and there's a place along the beach here. Just see if I can capture hundreds of surfboarders out here riding the waves. You can see them all along there. Catch a couple of these guys riding the waves, and you can see them, they're all over out there, all just waiting to catch that nice big wave. See if I can catch these guys over there, catch a big wave. activity going on here. They're all waiting for the right wave, I guess. Today's Monday, and we're at Palm Springs. Right now we're up here at this end of town. It's called Desert Hot Springs, and we're going to spend about 3 days here. This is just going outside of the campground. I'm just going to fan around here a little bit of the hillsides. Kind of pretty this morning. Looking out over the mountains there, you can see the fringes of snow up on the top. And scanning on around here is this all part of the Desert Hot Springs, and I want to zoom in a little bit out there. I'm going to zoom into the distance out there. There's actually big wind farms out here, and all those hillsides up there. You can see you got lots and lots of these wind chargers. You see out there you can actually see it's just a mass of them, which I guess indicates that there's a lot of wind. Maybe go back out here a little bit farther. I'm just gonna sweep on around here a little farther, and this actually goes out towards what's called Indian Painted Hills, I guess, and kind of goes back around here down towards the town of Palm Springs. That's where we're going to head now for a while. Go down there and walk around Palm Springs, and maybe walk out to this Indian Canyons, some kind of a national monument. Still right here at this whole Indian Canyons resort here. Walked out the back here a little bit. There's a little waterfall coming out through the rocks here. Goes up this long canyon here. I'll see if I can go up see up the top of the big gorge down here. Right here in this little place we're standing here, it's, maybe a dozen palm trees and kind of a pretty little setting. It'd be a nice little spot for like a picnic or something. We're still here up here at Indian Canyons now. We're looking down another side of a canyon here. It's kind of a pretty little spot. Big palm trees here along the river. The river runs down here and goes down through these palm trees here and heads on down the canyon. It's kind of strange. You got all this rock formation here, and right in the middle going up this canyon, the whole creek bottom is full of these palm trees. Hey, there's a little palm forest there almost, and see, it's real thick down. You can see the real dark shadows down in there, and actually a picnic table down in there if people want to sit and eat their lunch. Just down the bottom here now. We walk down the bottom of this hill that I just showed you a minute ago from up above. This big palm thicket down here, and down here at the bottom is this you see Karen's gonna walk back down in there now. There's picnic tables in there. Karen and I are taking a little hike up the Palm Canyon, I guess it's called, and there's the same little creek we saw earlier from the top of the hill, but following it on up here, and you can still see there's lots of these palm trees go up there. Just kind of seem like they just want to follow this canyon right on out. So I'll walk up here a little ways farther and see what happens. Hard to think these palms came here naturally. They just surrounding canyons are just rock, and there's a few cactus plants. I'll go around here and see if I can't spot a cactus plant. There's a spot a cactus plant here, and there's one right there. I'll see if I can't bring him in here a little bit. They're kind of, they just seem like they grow right out of the middle of the rock. I don't see no flowers on this one yet. Up by the information shack, there was one that had some real nice pretty flowers on it. Maybe I can catch you on the way back. It's another layer. I'm going to take a picture of it. Still looking up this Palm Canyon, and kind of a fast water through a chute here, and just kind of goes down through those palm trees and shoots on down in there into a little opening down in here. Yeah, there's kind of a little pool. It all kind of stops there then. Yeah, I'll take a little picture of Karen here. We're back down on the water level here now. Again, we're going on up this canyon farther, and we're still in these palm trees here. They just seem to go along the bottom of the river here. And zoom here a little bit more on Karen and kind of figure out how to cross a log here, I think. We're now up here at the upper end of this Palm Canyon as far as we can walk, and finally gorges down to the point where you either got to cross the creek some way and go up the other side or turn around. So we've chosen to turn around, but it's kind of beautiful up in here. There's big rock sidewall canyons that kind of drape either side of this Palm Creek. Actually looking downhill here. Yeah, look out here a little bit. There's looking out through the canyon there, Palm Canyon. Looking off to the, I guess I'd be looking off to the north there. There's some kind of an animal crawling up out of the rocks here. I'm trying to figure out what it is. Hoping he'd come out all the way, but I don't know if he's going to or not. Still just laying there. Oh, you went down now. Here we have a little rock lizard.
Couldn't get the big guy out.
Couldn't get the great big guy out, so maybe we could get a picture of this little guy here.
It's not the same as that other guy either. But
Some kind of an animal right there. I don't know what he is either. Let's see if I can get him to move.
oh, there he is. Just bigger of that.
Just a bigger lizard, I guess. Well, look at here. We came across another animal of the desert, a little reptile snake here. Karen's about ready to pick it up. There he slithers off. Oh, she said she couldn't get a hold of it. Looking off down through the palm tree now, it's kind of an interesting shot. Anyway, makes you feel like you're in some real remote jungle or something. Kind of hear the water going by. I'm going to take a picture of this cactus right here in front of the information center. It's got actually a couple different kinds in there. This one on the left here has flowers on it. See if I can get up.
Here comes Herm coming through the rocks. Well, look at, he made it. That's what I was saying.
I'm going to take a picture, kind of a panoramic picture here of this area. I'm going to take a panoramic picture of this area here. I don't know how it all was formed, I'm not a geologist, but all these rocks here, they all...
Starting to open.
We're up here at the aerial tramway at Palm Springs. And the car here just pulled out and heading up the mountain there. I'll try to watch him there a little ways, but I'll watch him till he's up here a little ways, and I'm going to head on up to the first tower here. Eventually goes on out up over the tower there. Eventually they come out up there at the top. There you can kind of see the tower at the top there. There's two kinds of rides you can get here. One is just a ride up and back, One is you can go up there and have a dinner up there. I'll kind of go around the surrounding canyons here. We're sitting down here at about elevation 2,600 feet, and the top of the mountain up there is 8,600 or 87 or something like that. So it goes up about 5,800 feet. It's a real steep canyon here. You can hear water running in the middle of the. We hear water running here. There's kind of a creek running right here underneath the information center. And you can see some pretty rugged terrain here. All real old rock and shale. And here's the tower again. I'll go up and see if I can maybe zoom in on the car again. There you can kind of see them coming. Moving on up there towards the second tower now. And eventually he'll end out up there at the top. We're on our way back to the Desert Hot Springs where we're going to spend the night, but we're again going by all of these fields of wind chargers, and you can just see the hundreds of them out here. It's a regular wind farm, I guess. And you can kind of see a backdrop. Kind of a nice sunset tonight. Today's the 9th of March. We're still at Palm Springs, and this morning we took a side trip out here to called 1,000 Palms. And there's a trail here. It's called 1,000 Palms, I guess. And the name of the trail is McCollum Nature Trail. About 1.5 miles long, and we're right here at a pint of water here right now, and it's supposedly we're looking in this pond for something called pubfish. Supposed to be mineral-like. They cure naturally in these creeks fed into this and feed into the Salton Sea. Yeah, I can see if I can find one here. It's laying on the bottom there. I don't know whether you can see that one or not, but there's a few. That's about how big they get. They're called about minnow size. And just kind of lay on the bottom. They don't seem like they're very active. And looking up around here a little bit above here is, again, it's kind of a fact that it's called 1,000 Palms, and it's right on the San Andreas Fault. So this is kind of a little oasis here, just a whole bunch of these palm trees. Right here, and they're really thick. I don't know how old they are, but look, one of these, from there on down, they're kind of dead. And at the bottom of these, some of them are a couple foot in diameter, and then there's all this stuff hanging down. They're dead. They're called, I think, fan palms. As I look out across this little palm tree oasis that I referred to earlier, you can kind of see off to the background there is actually a sand dune, and I guess we are out here in the desert, and they are prevalent, but it's the first one I've really come on to, and it seems strange to see palm trees and desert right here in the same area. We're now down here inside one of these large thickets of palm trees. In fact, we're so close and they're so thick that don't know whether I can even get a good shot around here, but take a picture kind of the bottom area here. You can see how thick they are, just all shadow in there. Yeah, let's go up there. Most of these are probably 40 feet tall, 50. The only thing that has any green on is right out of the top. The rest of it from there on down is all many years of old growth. I'm up here on top of the hill right now, and I'm gonna kind of take a little picture of this palm tree grove here again that I was down inside of just a little bit ago. Kind of get a shot goes on around here. Still looking for some animal. There's supposed to be some white iguanas or something in here, but I haven't seen a thing. Today is Thursday, the 18th, I think. We're at HO, Arizona, and I'm looking out over here at an open pit mine, and it's about, it says it's a mile across and 1,000 feet deep. It's just open pit mining, and what you see along there is just rows that were cut along down there to haul the stuff back out. The bottom of it is full of water right now. Yeah, there's a tourist shop here. We're going to go here, and then we're going on down to the Oregon Pipes National Monument. I'm going to take a few pictures here of some cactus. We've decided to stay here tonight at this place called AJO, AJO, and it's also the place we earlier saw where the open field or the open pit copper mine was. But at the campground here, I'm looking out over the back here a little ways, and you see these kind of cactus. It's kind of all over the place. And those there kind of cactus there, they're all on the way over. We saw a lot of them in bloom, but I don't see any blooms on these. We're a little bit higher here than we were when we left this morning. I'll take a picture here of a couple of little cactus here by the little walkway going down to a little old picnic area, but it's got flowers on it. And what I'm seeing through here is black and white, so I really don't see the flowers, but they're real pretty. There's just hundreds of little buds on them, and all those little things you see along there are all buds of flowers, but they're not all budded out yet. There's a half a dozen different kinds of cactus. There's one there, another little one there, that one there again, this guy right here, another guy right here that's got a few real pretty pink flowers on it, and hundreds of buds. Must be just a little bit early for them. And there's another little kind of cactus right behind him. A little bigger one here, but you can see little buds on them there right on the edges that are probably going to be flowers, even though it's a little bit early right now for flowers. Today's Friday the 19th, and we're at the Oregon Pipe Cactus National Monument in Arizona. We're probably about 10 miles north of the Mexican border, and what we're looking at here is all different kinds of cactuses. I'm just going to kind of scan around here. These are the Sonoras or something like that, and there's all kinds of cactuses here. There's one kind there. There's his horse. They're called Oregon Pipe Cactus National Monument. I'm going to scan around here. We're taking this 20 or 53 mile trip. It's a dirt road all the way through here, but see these cactuses all over with a nice backdrop setting of the mountains. And these little things here are kind of interesting, even though they're not in flower and they're really not a cactus. They do grow leaves when it rains, and they shed them when it dries up. And if it rains again, then they get leaves again, and that could happen 2 or 3 times a year. Back out here a little farther. This is kind of a interesting large Sonora cactus. I guess you could wave at us, Karen. Why don't you wave at us? She's kind of standing down there by the cactus. Get out of the shade. Yeah, okay. Scan back out. You can see these are all over the place. Really kind of a beautiful setting. A lot of mountains in the background. Just kind of scan off. We're driving up through this. Be careful here. I'm standing on top of the pickup. Off in the distance there. Off in the distance there you can see what's called the Bates Mountain Range. Really, I guess I kept thinking Arizona was mostly desert. There's an awful lot of this area we've been in here that's in these mountains. Kind of beautiful. It's a beautiful drive. Yeah, I'm just kind of scanning all the way around here. Actually, this is about where I started, so we're going to move on up the road a ways. We're still on this road here around the Oregon Pipes National Monument, and this mountain up ahead here is called Pinkley Peak. It says it's kind of a massive mountain rising about 3,140 feet above sea level. It's actually the highest peak in Puerto Blanco Mountains. It's named after a Park Service guy, but these mountains are a mix of lava flows and hardened volcanic ash. Most of these products occurred here during like a Tritarian time, which was from 15 to 22 million years ago. This here peak here is one of the best exposures of these volcanic rocks anywhere that we'll find here in this national park monument. So, it might be kind of interesting. Part of this peak, there's part of it is there, but this is the highest peak, and these cactus are all over the place. There is a trail here. It takes off, and we're going to walk up the trail for a little ways. Looking out across the canyon here now, we're looking out at the Ajo mountain range, and on the other side of that mountain range is a large Indian reservation. And Pontuno Indians are. I hope it's able to capture some of this. Those mountain ranges are really impressive, but maybe I'll try to bring them in here a little closer. Kind of real steep mountain ranges, very jagged, very layered. This is it's called a desert wash here. We're standing in a little ravine here looking up, and I suppose that's the headwaters of kind of some wash. And what happens to these, I guess, as they do wash, an abundance of plants grow along these washes, and lots of birds and stuff are attracted and stay along here. because that the abundance of food and lots of flowers growing along here. Karen was going to tell me what kind they are, but all she can think about is that these are pretty, pinkish colored. Doesn't know the name of them, and I don't either. But there's a lot of them around here, and there's
over there.
pretty pinks. There's a yellow. This brush that you see in the background here, it actually looks like brush. It probably hasn't budded out yet, but that's called mesquite, and it's used to burn. A lot of people use it to flavor, in these smokers and stuff. I guess mesquite is a popular item that they use, and grows very abundantly. It's just all over the place out here, this mesquite, and I call it a bush, but I guess maybe it's just a wild shrub. Just kind of looking off down that way. And this year they've had a lot of water, so there's been a lot of water through here because the rain content is quite high this year. Here's some more of these flowers here. I don't know, they actually look like a little poppy. They're not out in bloom yet, real prolific, but you can see the oranges, and it's all right here, and a bunch of yellows and oranges and some pinks back out here again, and
There's some little purple ones too.
we're still down here in this wash here, and we're looking out over a little flat here, and these little flowers here are just all over the place, and I guess it must be because of the water they did have. But every place there's this here brush that I call it, or mesquite brush, why there's these flowers. And in the background here you can see we got a couple more of this Sahara cacti.
Little buttercups.
And here's a whole bunch of these yellow flowers again. Karen thinks they're buttercups. I can't hardly argue with her because I don't know.
They look like
There's a couple partridge coming towards us here. They're off quite a ways. It's about as far as I can zoom them in here. There, I'm up here a little bit closer. Not going to let me get much closer. Look like they were pretty skittish and ready to move again.
tree.
Here,
Lady was showing us.
here again is one of these. Here's one of these. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Sagora cacti. It's more of this cactus. I really going to stop pronouncing the name because I'm not sure I'm getting it right, and I may be doing it injustice. No, just leave it. Here's the lizard hanging up on the tree. She just scared it away there a little bit, but well, we're still on our drive here around this 53-mile loop, and we've come on to another kind of cactus here now. This is actually called the organ pipe. Organ, O-R-G-A-N, like pipe music. And here's a small one. I'll try to get up close. And what distinguishes these is that there'll be a whole group of them that grow out of the ground and with a common root system. And there's a lot of them on this little hillside here. kind of go around, and you can see a few of the saguaras mixed in back there with it, and they grow pretty good size too. There's a bunch of them around here. In fact, there's a probably 15 feet away from me here is a big one, pretty good sized. I'll zoom up real close so you can kind of get an idea of what they look like up close. Yeah, go around over here. There's another one up there. Again, it's a beautiful setting. You got a nice background here. Little rock up there. Big red rock outcropping. Looks like stuff kind of is like a talus rock. Like rain or frozen or something that breaks off into pieces and washes down these hillsides, and eventually I suppose the mountain will be gone. We come over a little rise here, and Karen found this. It's an octillo plant, even though it's mixed out with all these cactuses. It's not a cactus, but we've been looking for one with the flower. We've been looking for one of these octillos with a flower on it, and Karen found one, but I'll have to zoom up there a little bit on it. Just hold it there a minute, Karen. I'll zoom up on it. All these here were kind of a little bit early, but they get these bright, beautiful kind of red-orange flowers on them.
They look like the lipstick plant.
And basically looks a lot like a lipstick plant, but all the ends of these, back here a little bit, you can see on the ends of these, all of them get that, looks like a big seed pod on the end of it, and that all turned into a big a head of bright orange flowers there. And here's another little plant, but see, they're all kind of in the bud stage. It's kind of the first one we found out that has actually kind of been broke out here. I'm looking off now down south actually to Mexico, and what range of mountain that is I don't know. We're right across the border here, still outside the Pipe Cactus National Monument. As I fan around to the left there, you can see all these out across there cactus. I'm fanning around here. I'm about over into the Arizona area here now. This is part of the Ajo National mountain range. A lot of traffic going by here, so I'm trying to kind of shut it off as I go. As I come around here, still part of this Ajo range. Yeah, I'll try to go on a little more here. There's so much traffic on this road here this afternoon. But I'm going to bring those up here a little bit. Maybe you can see all the cactus and try to bring that mountain up here as close as I can. But it's really kind of interesting because the reds are really starting to come out now. I got the sun shining from the back. And back a little bit, all these pipe cactus out here in front. It comes in another fairly nice, colorful reds in there all over the place. I'll go back here a little bit and let us kind of along here a little bit. This is still an Indian reservation on the other side of this range over here. Today's Friday. We're about to leave the campground here at this Oregon National Monument Park. This is the park around, kind of the surroundings here. There's kind of wave a little bit. A lot of nice cactus here. All the ones we see out on the trip. Move on.
This is one of the very few cactus that are in bloom here right now, but pretty soon the whole area will be filled with this type of flower. This is Herm standing by the Oregon pipes. Hi, Herm. This is one of the nicer examples of the Oregon pipe. Oregon pipe, whatever. Ears are moving.
What a mean one.
The mountain lion.
What do you think it is?
It means 200 square miles of hunting area.
Where are you today and the date?
What? We are at the Arizona-Sonora Desert Museum. Oh, he moved. Hey, he's coming after us.
I'm going to pick you up once. There. It's a deer. Oh my.
There's the other, whoops.
Oh, wait, Rachel. Nice, come on, Rachel. Yeah. Maybe we can see him over here.
So when do we get to the elephant?
That's a Bambi, Mom. That's a Bambi.
The monkeys, thank you.
There we are.
There you go.
Hey, look.
See that little animal up there on the top of the rock?
Yeah, what is it?
Probably like a Gila monster or something.
You missed a good one back down the lion.
Oh.
He opened his mouth and yawned and his tongue came out. This is a thick-billed parrot. As recently as 1936, large flocks of the thick-billed parrot visited the mountains of southern Arizona. Today, these birds are restricted to the mature pine forests of Mexico's Sierra.
Guacamaya. Here
comes the deer.
And they were right there. They wouldn't have moved. They look just like a branch.
Oh, I see.
Here's a Mexican boy.
Oh, yeah, Lobo wolf.
Right down there. See right?
Little coming out of his burrow. Out of his hole there, little. Whoops, just went back in.
Oh yeah, I see him in there.
Be in there.
Sally's there.
It's probably the ice cream stand. It's not saying anything. Wait till you see it.
Yeah, they are big birds.
It's pretty, isn't it?
Stellar City, or more generally known as the Camp Road.
Little thing.
Yeah.
Is he a possum?
Yeah.
It's a big tail, huh? Huh?
What is it? Whoa!
Right here. Real good right here. Come here, Chef. Bring these guys.
Wait till he comes out. Here he comes. Okay, just a second. It's a member of the raccoon family. Oh, nice.
Bye, Dad! I got one, but I'm gonna get it. Dad, hurry up!
Hey, he's gonna come to the opening. There he is.
Hello!
There's the other one.
This way. Yeah, there's a coyote this way and
Look at the blue gun station.
a bobcat, lots of deer, and then they have an underwater. Don't laugh. There's a prairie dog village up there, but we
Javelina.
Yeah, right. Whatever you say.
Why? They don't eat you. Yeah. They can't eat
Oh, look at that fish hook barrel cactus. Okay. We're up here at the Arizona-Sonora Desert Museum, and this is the view of the valley that we are getting from up here. See, they're looking at me there.
Actually, it's the same size as you get on the
Now it is.
Okay, there's a good example of a cactus that has died, and the ribs are still standing, and then when it rains, those ribs fill up with water and the cactus expands. See, there's a live one.
It's got to show up.
How can you tell what it is?
Bobcat.
Where's its face?
Por acá.
Now,
Yeah.
is that the ocelot?
Fox.
Where is he?
Oh, he had a pretty little face.
Oh, there.
You can see better up there, except that it's too quickly.
I don't see him.
It's too bad.
Yeah. Oh, there. I saw him. I saw him.
Gotta make a sound of a mouse. Oh, he's pecking. Oh, look at this too. Oh, look at that. It's got a red on top of its head. Oh, look at that. It's looking for. Oh, I see. There's how they get up there.
Watch the woodpecker.
He's up there on the tree. I know. It's so down there.
He's gonna go swimming. He's gonna go swimming. Yeah, come on. Oh, he's just gonna eat. Yep. Gonna drink. Yeah.
Look at this one's drinking watery.
I know, I'm going around here.
Prairie dog?
Maybe he went swimming.
Prairie dog.
Well, he's looking nasty though. Okay, give me your other hand. Give me this hand. Put your hand like that. Right here. This hand.
over that way. You see it?
Yeah, we saw that. We didn't go like that.
Just listen to me.
Another one?
Now, can you see him?
No.
Does he? All right, turn him where you can see him.
I can see him.
Does he look like he's in?
Look, the other one's starting up. Ooh, hey, it's getting up. Getting it fluffed up, getting the dirt fluffed up, see? It's a cardinal, isn't it? Something monkey. This is hummingbird trumpet. That's charisma monkey flowers. Charism. The birds.
The water nourishes and sustains the living things that gather on its banks, but it also shapes and moves and challenges and tests the creatures and then erases and recreates. The swiftest waters from heavy rain and melting snow have a reputation for destruction. But even in this apparently tyrannical mood, as the great logs and boulders down canyons,
No, look at their feet.
cycle of life and regeneration. Floods are important. Riparian places need to be rearranged periodically.
You see those
Because,
duck?
for example, and land levels. The heaviest things in the form set first. Large stones, then smaller cobbles, then
Oh, look at
gravel.
this little fish down
Sand and mud are carried far out of the canyons and into the valleys where they add to the deep soils. And all along the path that began as a flood, each of these new clean scrub spots presents an opportunity for
Oh, there they go down. One of them goes down anyway.
wet
The ducks.
gravel and sand bars, the only places near water with enough sunlight for the saplings to survive adolescence. Sycamores claim sites in small ranges near boulders and terraces frequent flood.
The other one's got his feet on top
Alders
of him.
find spots where water is no longer vigorous, but still abundant. Then, as young tree tops turn into mature canopy,
He's not
the
even wet.
understory fills
Oh, look at.
ferns, reeds, grasses, and shrubs. And of course, plants aren't the only living things which want to be here.
There goes another one down. Oh, look, he's down there eating.
Some animals
There's
survive
the other
only
one.
on area habitats, like the leopard frog.
Oh, here he
Others,
comes.
such as the tree lizard, are merely being discriminated. It's not just wetter here, it's cooler, and there's more to eat. Checkered garter snakes, their appetites run toward fish, and invertebrates, and frogs. The frogs, as long as it's
This here little guy, he's waking up.
Comes my fish again.
Oh. And the one that got out. The other one's heading that way.
And so when water has the chance to drown,
See,
creeks and rivers
look, there's the bottom of the
great
duck.
maker of a change. We all know that water nourishes and sustains
there's the back of the
things
duck.
that gather on its banks, but it also
See that?
shapes and moves
And that's
and
a
challenges.
But I'm thinking it's iguana, I think.
See the one Miguel over there? She's like really big already.
Yeah, curl right around.
That's the mom and that's the dad.
But she would do some rock sliding. She do. They smell pretty much like the pigs do, don't they?
Not very good. There's
Oh,
nothing that
that's
smells
so
any
cute.
What was that smell? The other one. Wouldn't jump all the way there, would they?
No, that's something else.
That's a little. Look at him on that rock. He's going up and down and up and down. See it?
Yeah, right there.
He's not part of anything, I don't think. He's just here.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Look at him. Yeah.
Battery light will be on.
Yeah, just have that big log down there. Here, Otter. Otter. Come on. Oh, the water. Water. Oh, water. Yeah, eat it. Child, turn your head around. Go, the water. Yes.
This is Monday morning in Tucson, and we're going to tour this called the White Dove Mission. And I guess it's still an active mission. They still have church services here every day. It's on an Indian reservation, the X-of-R Indian Reservation. And I haven't figured out whether that one peak up there fell off or whether there never was one. We're now inside the mission, and just in the back door, looking up towards the front here. It's like some huge carvings. Tall Gothic ceilings with paintings all the way up. looking up here now towards the ceiling, and it almost looks like it's all cast in just concrete or stone. That looks like a marble sculpture around there. Some old tapestries on the wall over here. Hearing the bells from the mission inside here. Looking across here at one of the altars here, or the side sanctuaries in the mission here. Looks like it's been restored at one time. Just again looking up at the altar area here. Oh, looks like it's carved there. I'm still inside the mission here, and on this west sanctuary there, got a whole crew in here doing a restoration. And there's probably 15 workers in there, plus a supervisory crew from England. It'll take them about 3 months to restore that. It's like they're restoring it and repainting where they have to touch up, brighten up all the figurines. We're still out here at this White Dove Mission, and up here on a hillside, kind of overlooking the mission here, and kind of built around the first part of the 1800s. It took them 14 years to build it. It's about 180 years old, I think I said. We're here now in Tombstone, Arizona. What I'm looking at here is the Birdcage Theater. Supposedly this is the town that Wyatt Earp and all the people had a big gunfight. OK Corral's down the road here a little ways. And this here supposedly is the old Birdcage Theater, where a lot of the girly shows and miners. At one time this town was 18,000 people. It was big open pit silver mines. Town was open 24 hours a day.
Here's another famous tavern of Tombstone, the Crystal Palace. And in December of 1881, Wyatt Earp was ambushed here at this corner and crippled for life.
Inside the Crystal Palace here, and I'm taking a picture of the bar in here. outside this door is where he was in a gunfight and ruined, and not ruined, but maimed for life. This supposedly is the original OK Corral. Where the livery stable there was the entrance. Used in a lot of movies. Also where I guess the Earp brothers and whoever else was in the gun shoot. This is where they had it out, back behind these walls. There's actually a corral back in there, and there's a bunch of horse stables and a big open area. And that's where they had the big shootout.